good afternoon, and good evening to you from wherever you are listening in from. It is your host, Diego Ife, and you are listening to another edition of the Boon podcast. So, I'm going to share my thoughts with you about the Wakanda Forever film, which I watched on Saturday. I do understand why people perhaps would complain about how women were put in roles that were very prominent, arguably the most prominent and recurrent roles throughout the film. And, part of why, I guess by extension, it's become less popular with men. And yeah, look, I can see there were many women, that were in prominent roles. It was on more instrumental roles, but I don't think that's really the worst thing in terms of like the most significant observation I made. I think the film was kind of underwhelming, if I'm being honest with you. I think the storyline was undercooked at best. For those who don't tend to follow storylines and are more taken by all like the graphics, the technology, there was a lot of that. There was a lot of what I'll call style without substance, smoke and mirrors, if you will. I would say, in a way, I could see why it would resonate with some people because when you had Wakanda being represented at a round table of all these other nations and sovereign states, everyone else was wearing kind of suits, like kind of formal attire, much in a Western style, and they came with this very elaborate type of, regalia, if you will. So I can understand why people who are like, yeah, Africa, Africa, I can understand why it would, resonate with them. There were certain things, like I think it was a good touch that they, is it King T'Challa, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, or Chadwick Boseman, there was very much a theme of tribute to him to honor his passing. And in as much as females or women were cast in prominent roles, right? This might be a bit of a spoiler alert. T'Challa was always put, when I say front and center, Princess Shuri, played by Letitia Wright, she pretty much kept on sort of reminiscing on her certain experiences she had with him, where it would lead her to emote, shed tears, and what have you. You could very clearly tell that she was trying to live up to his shadow. He was seen as the protector of the kingdom. He was seen as the Black Panther. And so other nations were looking at how they could potentially penetrate or conquer Wakanda because there was no more King T'Challa. So it was very much recognized that he was probably the most instrumental character and symbol as it pertains to protecting Wakanda. In the end, Wakanda was able to prevail. But what I found interesting, in addition to like the tributes and like the regalia, very kind of over the top kind of African kind of imagery, they did make certain revolutionary references. I'm not sure, maybe other people picked up on it that watched it, but stuff like, for example, featuring Haiti as part of the storyline, and also that King T'Challa had a child, which is sort of shown at the end, and the child was called Tassan, after Tassan Louverture, the one of the key figures in the Haitian Revolution. So yeah, those are kind of the observations I made. Kind of some creativity, gotta give credit where it's due. Undercooked storyline, in my opinion, they were literally living off past glories, and apparently there's going to be a third film, so it'll be interesting, maybe not so much so, as to what they're going to do, how they can pivot off this most recent film. So let me know what you think of my thoughts. If you made any other interesting observations, you agree, disagree, drop them in the comments. Like, share, please sub to the channel, and until next time, peace.